Hey there, it's J Rod here with Zach Scheit for Rich Retirement Letter, and doing another Q&A here. We've got a great question here, Zach, from Arlo, who asks, where do you see gold and silver going between now and the election?
It's one of my favorite topics for right now. Thanks, Arlo. So I'm actually very bullish on gold and silver. And the reason why is because this is a perfect environment for precious metals. We're sitting here in the second half of 2020. We've seen a lot of stimulus come into the economy from the Fed, cutting interest rates to near zero and buying bonds. And we've got Congress has put trillions of dollars into the pockets of American people and American companies. And all of that naturally leads to a strong environment for gold. Here's why. The more money that comes into an economy, the less each individual dollar can be worth. And that's just, it takes the law of supply and demand, that basic law of economics, into the currency market. So when you have more of something, that something is worth less. And when you have more dollars, the same thing is true. Those dollars are worth less. What does that mean and how do we take advantage of it? Well, if a dollar is worth a little bit less than it was a year ago, it means it takes more dollars to buy something. In other words, it takes more dollars to buy gold or to buy an ounce of silver. So the price of gold, the number of dollars that it takes to buy an ounce of gold, goes higher. Now, in the last financial crisis, we saw gold and silver trade higher for 2.5 years after Congress and the Fed started plowing money into the economy. We're now just a half a year into this whole crisis following the coronavirus. And so I think we still have another 2 years of potential for gold and silver to trade higher. Plus, keep in mind that Congress and the Fed have put much more into the economy this time around than they did after the financial crisis. So the magnitude, the amount of increase that we could see for the price of gold and silver could be much bigger than what we saw in 2009, 2010, 2011. So I think there's still a lot of room to run, and I love being able to hold some gold and silver in your retirement account to help protect your wealth. That's my story. What do you think, J-Rod?
You know what? I'm with you 100% on the printing of money, the money flow into into gold. I think there's a huge one too, that it's just the fear factor, right? A lot of people are still very concerned about COVID and what it's going to do, longer term. I talked to my in-laws over the weekend who are retirement age, and
Okay.
they're scared. They're themselves are scared of stocks. Like, gold. I'm scared of inflation. I'm scared of, what could happen with stocks, seeing the big shocks. Gold, I know it may not pay me a dividend, but I know that it has value no matter what happens with the dollar, what happens, with whatnot. And I think you're seeing that, you're seeing big flows, not just for retail investors, but big institutions as well. High net worth clients pouring their money into gold. So you got.
And on that note, I would just say that that the high net worth clients and the institutions have not historically owned a lot of gold. So they're sitting there without too much exposure. So there's a lot of room for these guys to start building bigger and bigger positions in gold. That's a really good point, though, that gold there are structural reasons why gold could trade higher. We talked about the Fed and interest rates and currency and all that. And that makes logical sense. But then there's also the human side of it, fear. When people become more afraid, they move into what's perceived as a safe place, and gold and silver are the ultimate safety trades in this economy. So I think there's a lot of room for this, for sure.
Absolutely. Hold gold.
Right.
Right. Well, great stuff. Well, thanks again, Zach. It's great to do another question and answer with you. And hey, if you got any other questions or comments about anything we've talked about, go ahead and leave your comment there in the box you see at the bottom of the screen, and we'll tackle it in another video.
Thanks for being on the call, guys.
Thanks, Zach.